That's it. It's game over, pioneers. It's a wrap. Just go on and tap out and hang up the hat. You see, if I would have listened to that every time I heard it, I would have truly been wrecked, pioneers. And if you made it to this small Facebook channel and you're listening to this, I'm here to remind you you don't have to ask for permission, especially not from other people, to live your best life. I didn't ask to be great. I didn't ask for permission to do what I love every single day. I just did it. One day I woke up and I said, "This game over. That's it. I'm tapping out of this matrix. I'm tired of living a mediocre life." I said it's a wrap on this entire scam system. And man, was it amazing and beautiful when I said I'm done with this matrix. You see, a lot of people with this mass awakening happening, they're starting to say the same thing. It's a wrap. It's game over. I'm tapping at this matrix. Babylon is falling. See, we're in the midst of a great war. A great spiritual warfare for the hearts and minds of people. And that's the reason why there's chaos right now on the planet, because there's chaos inside of us. And there's something new being birthed from all of this. I see everything going on in the Matrix right now as an opportunity. Remember, I've told you, C19, COVID means creating our vision in detail. And that's what we should have been doing the past 2 years. So we can come out of this stronger, healthier, happier, united with more clarity. You see, I don't have bad intentions. Alright? I only have good intentions. But duality keeps us trapped. And we need to remember that. So when there's chaos going on, remember the light and think of light. I just want to come out today and share with you all some high vibrations and some high frequencies, because a lot of people are screaming it's over, it's a wrap. The markets are tanking. We're in a bear market. It's a trap. And it's obvious right now that people don't want to just take a little deep breath and do a little samba. They don't want to do any technical analysis and research and do their own due diligence. You see, the time is up. We're in the age of information. And, ignorance is just a choice. We're in a whole new age, pioneers. And that's why in the new beginning, the old has to come to an end. We have to say, it's a wrap, it's game over on this matrix reality we live in. We have to start pressing play and live our own lives. Become the authors of our own life and create our own reality. And say no to anything that's not serving us. You see, people don't understand the mind frame that I come from and that I live in on a daily basis. But soon they'll understand when they start to manifest their own reality and live within their own life. And they start becoming the author of their own life. When they stop refusing to be a victim and start choosing to be a co-creator. When they say it's a wrap, it's game over. I'm tapping out this matrix. Because you said, Coach, there was a solution, another way. Yeah, of course. Don't give up. Don't throw in the towel. Just breathe and do a little samba. Remind yourself there's a beauty in being set free and having a great awakening, realizing you're the Messiah. See, we didn't come here to play the game. We came here to change it, pioneers. We didn't come here to be another brick in the wall or zombies, automatons. We came here to be free. Can I get a hello? It's a wrap, pioneers. People often ask me, how are you so able to just be in it and not in it? Because I'm in the world, but I'm not of the world, pioneers. And that's why I can be free. And how can your soul be free like mine? Just let go of the matrix. That's all you gotta do. Don't prescribe to these materialistic things and follow the masses. Live your best life. Learn to say, it's a wrap. It's game over. I ain't listening to nothing. I'm a co-creator. What I say goes. You know? Don't take no for an answer, pioneers. Say yes to yourself. And don't give up on yourself. Raise the frequency and raise the vibrations. And be you. Do you. Remind yourself that all you need is to set an intention and then step into radical action. So if you're somebody that doesn't want to be a part of this system and you want to create wealth, then start feeling rich and realizing you already create happiness. How about that? Don't wait for the matrix to sort itself out, pioneers. It's just going to keep getting more chaotic. Start doing things yourself. So, with all that being said, let's get into it. A 2-a-day crypto special coming to you from the Daily Candle Close News. It was amazing to see our video this morning. Quick technical analysis and weekly red pill get you prepared for the bottom side retest of this trend line. None of this is surprising, coming in 5 days before today, being 5 days before our next full moon. This is something we tend to take care of and keep on our minds as taking note of. This is important, and we take care of these opportunities right here as, packing our bags, buying the dip, continuing to set higher lows in structure throughout time, going back multiple months now. This is the 4th month we've came back and retested this bottom side trend line, so not surprising. So while everybody's been worried about Will Smith and Chris Rock and etc. over the last several days, we've been packing our bags and acquiring opportunities that will hopefully set us up for, price action in the near distant future. This is leading into April 15th too, a very popular date when it comes to big events, so not surprising. The most popular ones are probably Titanic or the Boston Marathon bombing, the Notre Dame fire back in the day. In 2020 it was the day that they said the most people died from the bear flu. So back in Titanic when it sank, you had 1,500 people that died. We're in the year of the tiger, so I'm definitely paying attention. Sorry about that truck in the background, you guys. I'm definitely paying attention this year to it being the year of the tiger. We get that 15 as well. So just some connections right here as we approach 4/15, a very important date this month. Not surprising. Being the 105th day of the year, giving us that 15. So this is something that I was preparing for already, and it's a few days before. That 15th of April is the it is the first day before the next full moon. We know these full moons are typically bearish, 3 to 5 days before, on, or 3 to 5 days after our full moon. We tend to get this energy shift that is bearish in the markets, bringing our structural lows that come in around the full moon or the 21st and 22nd of every month. The 21st and 22nd, we tend to get a market reset, like right here, leading into the 21st, 22nd, before we saw an uptrend that got stopped out around 47K and the top side of our trend line. So this is very important. And again, trend lines can be broken very easily, but when you add confluence to them over multiple months, and you've got multiple reactions to these, you can see how easily they play out going back in time. This is something that we've been able to connect to since the end of the year of December in the 52nd week, around December 27th, when we called that 52K bull trap that we were able to prepare our pioneers for in the group chat that led all the way down to this time period we're in right now. So this is something that I want to come back and reiterate and just share with you all why I'm not concerned and not tripping out over the simple fact that today is 4/11 and we get stock markets collapse and we get the 114, the mirror of 411 today. We're in the 7-year sabbatical cycle. We get the 70 in Chaldean right here. Not surprising. We're in the Shemitah year, giving us that same 70. So this is all very important. Undeniable connections we're making right here and seeing today. Again, not surprised on 411 that we get this. So we'll go back to today, giving us that 57 connection we were making in our first video, because we tied this first to, the sell-off we were seeing on, let's just go to December 4th real quick of 2021. And we see right here, it was another day that added to 57. We saw in the charts a sell-off on December 4th, the last eclipse. We're leading into our next eclipse right here in a few days, in a couple of weeks. So very important. December 4th being a day that added to 57 in numerology, it was a sell-off. This 57 connects us all the way back to Rosh Hashanah and the Shemitah, what we were just talking about, being a 7-month, 4-day connection today. This 74 is very powerful. This 216 days in between today, well, that is 6 times 6 times 6. We know 6 times 6 is 36, 30 weeks, 6 days. And 6 times 36 is 216. For my research, is the true mark of the beast. So very important, ladies and gentlemen. Also giving us that 57. And we see that right here. Rosh Hashanah was that day, 9/7, where we saw this sell-off in the markets right here as well. So right here, this red day, I've got marked right here with this arrow. Another day that was a sell-off, tying us to the 57. 5 plus 7 is 12. We get that in today's date numerology when we add it up. 4 plus 1 plus 1 plus 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 2. We get to 12. So again, very, very important. Today is Monday, Moon Day. We get the 57 in Moon. Undeniable. This connects us to cryptocurrency with the 75. As above, so below is 57. Who runs the show? Society of Jesus, giving us a 187 in the markets when we see these 57s. Very scripted, you guys. Undeniable connections we're making right here that I have to reiterate and share with you all. So leading into April 15th, not surprising, because I believe this is a date that they use as some sort of a false flag date. And I know that might be hard for a lot of people to accept, but it just is what it is. Okay, when you're seeing this pattern happen time and time again, when we're talking about Shemitah and having big global currency financial collapses every 7 years, people have to kind of try and wake up to the fact of this is what it is. Okay, and that's coming up very soon, a few days away from now, 4 days, again, right here around the new moon. So coming from an esoteric standpoint of the numbers, gematria, etc., we know last year around this time frame, this is where all cryptocurrencies hit their cycle highs, right here around April 14th, around the 15th, and then a big correction came in on the 15th. So again, when we pay attention to astrology and the moon cycles and eclipses, we see that they play a huge role in this month, especially during this 7-year sabbatical cycle. So around this time frame of April 15th to May 15th, that's very important, because this is our next Friday the 13th, coming up on May 13th. Sell in May, walk away, traditional for the stock markets. This is something I'm not playing around with right now, especially during this 7-year sabbatical cycle. So this is a very important time period, and I'm wondering how this is all going to shake out in the near distant future. April 15th being our next big ritual date, leading into the full moon. So one thing I can say about the 15th is it does land on a 16th date numerology, and this would not surprise me, because when we look at numerology and gematria, again, we know Shiva, the god of destruction, and the goddess of destruction, again, in the year of the tiger gives us 59. We get that 16 as well. That 76, that ties us to the brotherhood of death, and skull and bones, 322. But also Russia, We know there's big news on the world stage right now around Russia. This 75, the mirror of 57. We're seeing sell-offs in the markets around the number 57. That is red. Okay, that is fear. That is FUD. Nonsense. Okay, so could we see something on the 15th around Russia, some big event? Being 220 days since the start of the Shemitah, okay, this 22 number, and that we get in this year, the Jewish Hebrew New Year 5782, 5782, 22, we're in 2022, but ultimately it's Omega tying us in here, the 22. Just very important, undeniable connections we're getting. That's something I wanted to pay attention to, and then the next few days, especially on this particular day of April 15th, tying us to the nonsense we're seeing around Russia, Ukraine, etc. We see a lot of things going on in Shanghai right now. And, again, when we type out China, we get the 15 as well. So something I just wanted to reiterate and bring up to you all. Pay attention to the news on the world stage and understand why you're seeing it. Okay, I'm not denying anything that's happening. I know that the world is going to shit right now all over the place, and my prayers are out to you all. So just throwing that out there. So again, seeing this 39K Bitcoin, retesting this being the 3 nines, the 999, not surprising. That's what the 39 symbolizes to me, but ultimately it ties us back into Saturn. Saturn, Father Time. Giving us the 93, the mirror of 39, okay? Not surprising. We're in the 42nd year anniversary of the Georgia Guidestones that happened on 3/22. That's when the 42nd year started. So again, Bitcoin dropped today 6.23%. So Saturn is the 6th planet from the sun. Man was created on the 6th day. Not surprising at all. Rudeness. Sorry about that. But again, Bitcoin giving us that 23. Being tied to Saturn, the 6th planet from the sun. Okay. The 2 3s. 2 times 3 is 6. Okay. Not surprising there. So again, 6.23% is what it fell today. Undeniable connections here. We know Bitcoin is tied to Saturn through Satoshi Nakamoto. Giving us that 181, which is the 42nd prime number. We get that 42 in Saturn. So undeniable connections there. Truly, when we understand how to utilize this code, we know why we're sitting at 39, because it's the mirror of 93 we get in Saturn, Father Time, Chronos. Bitcoin's highly tied to Saturn. It has a 21 million coin supply. We get that 21 in Saturn. Okay? So undeniable. And we know right now Bitcoin is circulating and has a circulating supply of 18 million. So again, that 18 being in the year of the Shemitah, undeniable. Why we see that it's circulating supply 18 million. So just some things I wanted to bring up and reiterate to you all. See what they're doing is creating chaos, food shortages, etc. Disgusting behavior right now. Just orchestrating people to not pay attention to what's going on. And that's what I wanted to reiterate. Save your lives by buying these dips and selling the tops. I know it's harder than easier said than done, but I literally give away everything you need to utilize these opportunities in my work. All you got to do is pay attention to it. Go back 6 months, watch the work. You'll learn so much. Watch one video every day. Undeniable. So just wanted to continue to reiterate that. But a beautiful thing that we can remind ourselves of is just surround yourself with high vibrational people and people that align with you. Make sure you're associating with people and doing things in your life right now that are for the positive of humanity, and play a huge role in the successes of our future generations. Don't pay attention to what the world stage news, etc. is telling you. If they tell you go left, I go right. I'm just saying. Surround yourself with a frequency of high vibrational people, and we can change this world. Undeniable. Maybe what we need to do is ask ourselves, where are we positioning ourselves in this world right now? Is it of service to me or of others? And if it is, then, is it mutual? Or, bringing me and them somewhat of a higher vibrational state? That's something that I try to always do each and every day, and something I want to bring up in this video. Don't get caught up in this indoctrination system where we're not caught to think, where, we get stuck in this medical system where we treat symptoms and not the problems. We got to get to the problems of things in life. We weren't educated enough where we were taught about the problems of life, like the monetary system, the economic system, etc. They tell us to get into your long-term mortgages and, get trapped in these debt and credit cycles. And they do it just enough to keep us trapped so we can't create our own reality. And, they get us outside of who we truly are, and they stop us from creating. Because I believe these elites don't want a world of educated individuals. They want a world of workers, And that's something I want to, come out and be a voice into tomorrow for, is remind you that, our whole paradigm's about to get shattered, and we can take the opportunity right now to allocate ourselves into positioning ourselves to be the change that we want to see in the world one day. And I try and do that mentally, physically, emotionally, financially, spiritually, in all kinds of ways, to encourage people to do the same thing in their lives, to be that voice for their families. What are you going to tell your kids and grandkids one day when they ask you, what did you do during this time frame? Because most of you will tell them nothing. And, that hurts. You're going to be trapped in this cycle of debt and credit, etc. Or, just this lack mindset. And that's something I want to bring up to you all, is just encourage you to be you. Be the best that you can be. That cliche saying, but most people don't love themselves. And that's a problem, you can't love others if you don't love yourself. And, I know that's so cliche and people overlook it, and get so frustrated when you tell them that, but it's something that we got to continue to remind ourselves, love ourselves. So with all that being said, we'll continue to get into this. I'm just ranting and, raving in this video. We know there's a lot of dumb money and unsophisticated money that's been in this market lately, and it's caused a lot of people to do some, things that they're probably not proud of, like buying tops in markets and selling lows. And now they just don't know where the crypto market's headed right now. And, the majority of my portfolio is held in altcoins, so I talk a lot about Bitcoin because it's the sun, the energy of the market, and it's so important to pay attention to what it does, because what it does, most cryptocurrencies will follow suit and do as well. So that's something I want to bring up as well, is we need to remember that we're in a time period where most of the masses don't understand what is happening in the markets, and they keep wanting to panic and sell the market lows as we head down, or chase green candles right here as we got back above 45k, and start thinking that we were okay to move back up. And the timing of that wasn't so true, because we weren't able to solidify multiple daily candle closes above this 45k, which is something that I said was important moving forward. And why I said that, because what I want to remind people of is if you're starting to finally get affected by things, and you're just starting to learn about cryptocurrency, or the problems going on in the world stage financially, that's great. Don't feel like you're late, because you don't want to panic and get lost in the sauce and follow the masses. Don't trip because you didn't buy crypto back here in C19. You're still getting in what looks like to be some lows in the markets again. So we've had 1, 2, Three, now four opportunities over the last 4 months to be strong investors and buy when others are fearful and not when others are greedy. So, do your due diligence and spend your time looking and researching what's going on and learning technical analysis. And don't try to be so perfect with time in this market. Just try to be aware with what's going on here. We're moving into a digital financial structure. We're moving quantum. We're in the Shemitah year. We are heading into a big financial collapse period right after the Shemitah year. Predominantly by the end of September, right after. So don't get too emotional with all this investing stuff and with the dollar collapsing and all this nonsense. The dollar's typically a deflationary period until after the Shemitah. So, I mean, it's still going to rise. Undeniable. So, you're patient enough to be in a job for 15 years, or to set in a relationship that you're not happy with for 3 to 5 years. So, be patient here too, is all I'm saying. Don't get lost in the narratives and the sauce and follow everyone and, you know, without doing your own due diligence, is all I'm saying. It's more important to become who you are in this process and build a process, something we're teaching here, a craft, a skill that we can use on the world stage. So the big thing right now is cryptocurrency is in a price discovery mode, okay? So while all of this entire asset class is in price discovery, we've yet to figure out our fundamental base price for anything, for that matter. Even the fact that Bitcoin has went from 20,000 down to 3,000, up to 50,000, back down to 30,000, up to 69,000. It shows us the game is still on. The game's not over, and it's not time to hang up our hat. It's not a wrap, you guys. And while we're in something that's a nascent asset class and still within price discovery, what we need to do is not look at it based on everybody else's opinions and following the masses. We need to build our own craft and skill. So when people try to be an active investor within an asset class that's yet to get out of price discovery and show some stability, just think about that. That's like trying to catch air, okay? Or trying to reach for the clouds and bring some of it down in a bag. It's impossible, you guys. We can't make 100% concrete decisions. Even the most accredited investors right now, we can't make the most concrete decisions during this time period of the market. We can't decide what percentage we should to allocate to a certain holding or anything right now, especially during this 7-year cycle that I explained so vigorously on this channel. We can kind of try and figure this all out after, in about a year from now plus, give or take. And then we can kind of look at gold and silver as a hedge over the long-term time horizon for everything. But cryptocurrency is so volatile, and it's so nascent, and we're so early. So this is something that I kind of go over some in my course and over the work that I've done over the last year. I'm not, based on this moon boy approach to cryptocurrency that I believe I'm going to get rich in the next 3 months or the next day. I don't plant apple trees and expect apples tomorrow. The greedy side of the market obviously is a very short-lived moment, and we see that going back over the last 4 months. So remember that. Take advantage of some of these indicators when you see them overheated, or when we start approaching the top sides of these trend lines and moving averages, etc. Something I just wanted to reiterate with you all. Build your own craft. Do your own due diligence and research. We're still in price discovery, and that means the bullish cycles are instantaneous and the bearish cycles are much longer. So again, the next time we start to rise up, do your own due diligence and research. We need to actually remember that when it comes to de-risking, we can't be lost in our emotions. They don't belong here in this game. Use your time wisely to being grateful for any profits and all profits that you get. And take advantage of de-risking, not selling all, but taking profits, initial investments out, etc. So that's something I just wanted to reiterate with you all. Money only solves money problems. So if you're working on achieving bliss and neutrality and actually finding the creative side of yourself, expressing your genuine self to the world and the community around you, then you don't give a fuck what your portfolio looks like or what anyone thinks of you, or what your job is or your status in the world. You don't care because it's all materialistic. You just care about the things that you're doing in life and the beautiful people that you have in your life. If I woke up and all this crypto shit was gone, I still have a place to go home and lay my head. I still have people that love me and people that care about the things that I teach, other than crypto. So, with all that being said, I just want to come out and reiterate why we're seeing this dump on April 11th, heading into April 12th tomorrow. Another very important date that I was keeping an eye on for XRP, being another 7-month, 5-day, another 57.75 as above connection to September 7th. But being 58 and 22, we know XRP gives us this 58 and 22 connection right here, when we type that out. So we're definitely paying attention to that tomorrow, being the 102nd day of the year. Drop to zero. That's that 12 we were getting today. We're in the 13-year anniversary of Bitcoin. This 13 we get when we type this out. So just definitely paying attention to that as well. Undeniable connections. When we go to the last day of Rosh Hashanah again, and the Shemitah, we get this 7-4 connection again like we were getting today. So undeniable. It's something I want to reiterate. Moving into the full moon, why are we seeing this low in the market? Because full moons are typically bearish. That's again a 221-day connection from the Shemitah. If we take it back to the first day of Rosh Hashanah, it's a 222-day connection. This 222, we get in the 222 year, and we know that's order out of chaos. We were just talking about event 201, and we know we got that 222 in Wuhan Corona virus. We know China's locking down and etc. right now is what the news is telling us. We get this 93 connection. Bitcoin's sitting at 39 right now. I've told people for 6 months lockdowns are coming back and they're just on the horizon because we have the playbook. Again, the last variant they will say is the Omega that mutates to your brain. Okay? Undeniable. You guys watch the movie Songbird. Okay? Wow. Undeniable. That same 43 we getting. So watch the 2020 Songbird movie and you'll understand what their plan is. Okay? It's all there. They've given it to us. So, undeniable. With all that being said, we'll continue to probably make this connection right here around the 419. Another very important day. We'll connect it back to the Shemitah, but it's a day that adds to 65 in numerology, the mirror of 56 being the 109th day of the year. We've been talking about C19. Well, drop the zero, you got the 19, okay? Very important. C19 has targeted your soul, okay? Giving us that 19, your spirit, for the last 2 years, and it's time for us to stand back up and take our spirit and soul back, because that is our battery, okay, giving us that same 19 connection. All right, Corona is your corona chakra, okay, undeniable, you guys, your crown chakra. That's what they are targeting. We're in a spiritual warfare for the human consciousness, and that's what this has always been about. And it's time for us to raise up, because COVID stands for creating our vision in detail. Undeniable, okay? So I wanted to remind you all of that. We've got to do that and stop falling for the narratives. So when they tell you that you need to wear your mask again, or your job tries to tell you have to have whatever, or that we got to lock back down and you can't provide a livelihood for your families, well, create your own vision and detail. And if you know you can't continue to work that job, well, then you didn't need it, etc. Just remember that. Don't let fear dictate your decision or anything. Just something I wanted to reiterate. Again, just ranting and raving in this video, sharing with you all why we're seeing this downtrend. Back to 39K, almost retesting this trend line that I can put on here months ago. So, undeniable, you guys. This day right here, 224-day connection to April 19th back to September. That 224 we got in Satoshi Nakamoto, 224. Watch Bitcoin on this day. Undeniable, you guys. This is leading into the 21st, 22nd of the month. Very important time frames. This 227 is a very important number. We can break down as we get closer to it. But this 67 connection on the 21st ties us back into Order 322, or the Brotherhood of Death, Skull and Bones, the 76. Undeniable, being the 111th day of the year. Very important, you guys. Bitcoin hit its top on 11/10, 111. Okay, so undeniable connections right here. So we'll continue to pay attention to 421. All right, with all that being said, we'll sign out. Take care. God bless you guys.